Before you became Afrofuturist,
Here we go.
who were you before?
So I was just this flamboyant little teenager, young adult, trying to make out, like to make the most of my imagination, the things that I see. So I used to be a performant artist. I used to do urban interventions in Brazil to talk about environment, to talk about my own feelings. Because before I do performance art, I used to do theater and I used to do musical. So and I used to travel. I went to a tour, national tour with a musical a company, a theater company, a theatrical acting company. So we did musical and then we travel, we tour all Brazil. And then I was battling myself because I hated the fact that in theater I have to do the things over and over and over and just repeat every single time.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that.
No.
I was like, I need to break that because that's going back to strict structure, something that I didn't want to do. That comes back from military school.
I want to talk about the military school. I'm just blown away by it. I want to know the story behind it, like for all your life military school.
Yeah.
And what did that discipline help contribute to your new career now?
Yeah, so
Military school all your life. Oh my God.
can you imagine?
No, I mean, it makes sense though, because the discipline that I have the honor in witnessing and what I know of you is just incredible. I never knew this about you. This is...
I don't feel like a lot of people know, and when they know, they're like in a gag because it's like they can.
I'm gagging.
Right?
This is amazing.
Yeah.
A big shout out to the military in Brazil.
I think it shaped me in a form where I'm like, I like structure, I like detail, I like discipline, I like to do my things, but at the same time, integrity, at the same time, I run away from all those things.
Got it.
At the same time, like if I have something or have a work or have like a job that requires me a lot of structure, requires me a lot of things, I'm gonna run away. But in my art and the things that I do, I bring all of that into what I do so I can make sure that I'm always right. I'm always on point with my looks, with what I do. Like I also come from dancing, so like dancing schools, like modern, contemporary, and ballet. So structure again. So it's always like something that is always in me. Like make sure that I have integrity and I have like discipline in everything I do.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's also things that make me like very detail orientated.
Big time.
It's like
with everything.
Yeah, every detail has to be there.
Well, I had the amazing opportunity and honor to have met you in dance class. And I picked up on everything the minute I saw you. So you are a walking, talking you. There's no turning this off. A lot of people that I've worked with and I've known throughout the years in New York City have the opposite issue in where they can easily neglect themselves but work for others. And I find that it's something that does come back and bite you in the ass later on when you don't have that discipline. So yeah, this is interesting. I see nothing but amazing things for you in the future if this is how you're operating right now.
Thank you. That's a lot of work. Put it on. Like I was talking before. Before I joined ballroom, I already had a career. Like it must not be like the most famous person or like the most whatever, but I feel like success is defined different ways. And for me, the fact that I was able, since I left military school, to do what I want to do and to do all the things that I imagined for myself, that's my idea of success. So I did not just circus, but I did dancing, I did acting, like singing, like all of it before I joined ballroom. And also I was a producer, like when I left the theater company, I was working just by myself.
Yeah.
So I was producing my own performances, and I was like writing. I was doing all the work to put it together, like conceptualizing. I would talk to the newspaper to make sure I was seen on the newspaper. I would go to all the callings they have for like financial support or like awards, and I would like apply for every single thing. Like I became like a very like
A full spectrum marketing business.
yes. So that's how
This is incredible.
I became, that's how I started to produce myself and to like be out there doing my own things like a solo artist until I met ballroom. That was the love of my life. And then when I went into ballroom, I already have all these things. So I was just producing like balls and making like doing everything that I could to bring back the life to my city, because that's like a lot of layers in my life. We can start from the beginning if you want a timeline, because it's like a lot of like corners in layers.
Yeah, of course. Definitely, we can talk about that. But I am, I'm just so blown away by so many corners and so many layers. I want to know about what you left behind in Brazil, and if you're telling me now that your passion was to bring life to your town, give me a little glimpse of that. Like, what did that mean for you, and what did it mean for you leaving them and coming here? Because I also want to talk about your success here in New York. You're super successful. So go ahead. Go ahead.
Just the fact that you just asked this question just already makes me emotional, because that's a lot that I left behind in order to be here, especially my mom, which is the only person I have in life as like my full family. And she's everything to me. We have such a deep connection. If I'm okay, she knows. If I'm great, she knows. If I have a nightmare, she knows.
Stop it.
If I'm not well, she knows. She can call me, and by the tone of my voice or my energy, she would say,
she knows.
You're crying, right?
She knows.
And I was like, how do you know? And even if I don't even call her, she would message me like, I dream about you, this and this and this, and I'll be like, oh my God. So it's like such a deep connection. She's everything to me. And my mom is very religious.
What religion?
She's evangelical.
Okay,
So she's very religious. Like, it was really hard for me coming out from my mom, because she didn't saw it coming.
She didn't see it coming. She didn't know that
she didn't see it coming.
Son.
And the only son, she was like, she thought I was like marry a woman and have like child and everything.
The typical
right traditional family. And then she was really gagged when I came out. And then to this day, it's still hard on her, because she tried to protect my image for the family and for the neighbors and like the place where she lives. So like try to protect everything around me and my image and everything. But
Mama bear.
Yeah.
Mama bear. Mama bear.
But there's something that she always said to me, and something that she always talked to me and said to me, and I always tell to my child, so my child in Brazil from Ballroom, that whatever you do,
your students and the people that you mentor, the kids.
Yes, my kids. I always tell them the same things, like follow your heart.
Follow your heart.
That's the same. The moment I have a question from my mom, and she was like, and I was like, Mom, I want to do this on that. She always would say, follow your heart. Follow what's right for you. But if you wanna do it right.
Yeah.
make all of your work, put all of your energy and do it right, because sometimes you cannot come back
from certain mistakes.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And that's something that she always told me, like, follow your heart and go all the way for it. So she was not as always supportive of me going into the artistic realm.
Right.
But when she said follow your heart, I was like, that's what I want to do. And she was like, make sure that you want to do everything your capability to be successful in what you do.
That's amazing.
So that's when I started to really study everything I could. And then she saw me like getting my things, like getting awards and like traveling.
She saw the results. She saw the response.
Yeah, she saw like things coming, like, because the work I was putting out there. And she was like, okay, now I see it, so keep going.
Yeah, keep going. It. She approved.
Yes.
She saw. She was at ease knowing that you knew you had her influence of just keeping an eye for yourself and being careful.
And that's the most treasure that I left behind in Brazil is my mom. Yeah. The other one is my family, my Kiki scene, my Kiki house, the Kiki Casa de Barro. Which means...
Hi, Kiki!
Hi, lover.
Hi, Kiki!
Which means, de barro means from the mud.
Ooh, yeah.
Which
earth.
Rise where earth, and the meaning is like we can mold ourselves into whatever we want.
That's beautiful.
So that's my Kiki house, and I love my kids. Sometimes they get in my nerves.
Right. Oh, well, you know, those are children.
Right. But I love my kids. I love all of it. It's like the ones that are in the house, the one that is not in the house anymore. Because I actually was the first person in my state to bring ballroom.
Stop it.
Yes, I'm not like, I haven't a status, but I'm upcoming pioneer from the Kiki scene from my state. And yes, it's very that I left them behind, and before I left them behind, I build a whole community. I throw the first balls, was 4 balls before I came here, and then I gave them like status, like prince and princess of the house, so they can have this sense of leadership when I leave, and they can stay there and they can continue the work and the legacy of knowing that they are the ballroom there.
What better inheritance than to give confidence to people?
So yeah, they're my 2 treasures, like my Kiki scene, my house, the de barro ways.
De barro ways, woo!
And my mother. That's the 2 treasures that I left.
Hi, Mom. What's your mom's name?
Acidalia.
Acidalia.
Yes.
Acidalia, we love your son. We love him. Who is your Kiki here in New York?
So that's funny because I used to, when I came here, I used to walk.
Hold on one second. Who is the version of your Kiki here in New York?
Okay, that's a better question. When I came to New York City, I used to walk Kiki, but I used to walk Kiki as my name because I wanted, and I still want, to be truthful and loyalty to my family in Brazil.
Yes.
So I didn't want to join the Kiki house. I want to be part of my own house. I want to bring my house from Brazil to New York.
That's right.
And walk as a mother, walk as a figure that I'm still am for them.
Your own branch.
Yes. Okay. And that's how I actually do. I actually don't walk Kiki anymore. I'm more in the mainstream now, especially after joining the garçons and getting my grand prizes out there. So I actually just watch Kiki. I see Kiki, but my Kiki scene is my child in Brazil. That's my chapter. I feel like coming back to Brazil, I want to open more chapters in other states, and even bring back here and open a chapter here eventually. But that's something for the future.
Yes.
But yeah, I try to be loyal, and I try to be as much as I can for my child.
That's right.
Because that's a conversation I had lately with some of the ballroom leaders out there, and they say
in Brazil,
okay. Yeah, and they told me it's very nice to see that you left your city, you went to New York City, and you still are connected to your roots.
That's
You
right.
didn't let go because you could close the house, go to New York City, and do your own journey. But you did the opposite. You still keep your root. And I do keep my root because that's something in Brazil that's very. We have we have a lot of prejudice in Brazil, especially where I come from. I come from the smallest state in Brazil. I don't come from
The big city
São
from
Paulo.
São Paulo.
I don't come from Rio or Belo Horizonte. I come from literally from the smallest state, the smallest city in Brazil.
What's the name?
Which means it's Sergipe, the state, in Aracaju. It's northeast, so it's on the coast, and we have a lot of prejudice in there because some of the things that when you go to Brazil, they don't go there. They don't go to northeast. And knowing that and growing up, seeing all these like behaviors and also traveling Brazil, in all of that, I always told myself the day I have to leave, would have to move, I would never move to the south.
Got it.
I would go out of this country.
Yeah.
Because it's I would for me in order to make a name for myself, I feel like I have to leave so they can respect me for not just for me living or who I am there, but also they respect me for who I am in Brazil.
That's
where
right.
I come from.
That's right.
That's why I always make sure that whatever I do, my name of my city, of where I come from, my region is out there.
That's amazing.
Because I'm not just the only Brazilian that's actually in the New York mainstream, like doing the thing, but I'm also from Northeast as the only one here.
Wow.
So I try to make that the most of it because I feel like because of all the prejudice, they can look up for somebody. They can look up for someone and they can connect to me. They can see that's possible. If I'm here, it's possible for them. And eventually, if they want to come here, I can help them
That's
with
right.
however
You're
need.
their source here for
Yeah.
information and how to maneuver themselves.
Yes.
When you say prejudice, what are they being prejudiced against?
It's like you're in the city and you don't like people from the country.
Got it, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the
it's-
South is the South is like cities, big cities. They always look down to people who come from the Northeast.
Right.
And not just that, most of the funds to Brazil or like the big project, artistic project. I'm the person who I've submitted a lot of projects for national callings, like for the country specifically, and for the nation ones, I never got accepted.
You never
because I'm the smaller town,
small
smaller
town.
city, and it doesn't have that much abroad of like reaching people. So
And they
that's
have
why.
no idea the type of production you're producing in the small town
Yes.
that is up to par to a high-end production.
Yes.
Because everything that you've done and that I've seen from even way back home is just, it's just incredible.
Thank you.
It's truly incredible. Is there anything else about the structure of your hometown that you want to talk about that can segue into fast forward to your new life here that you want to point out and where you want to be the bridge for also?
I feel like yes, because it's all connected. For example, me being in Afrofuturist today is connecting with where I come from too. Me going to ballroom and going back to Brazil is connected also where I come from.
Yeah.
Because when I became a solo artist, I started to do avant-garde performance art. So I was kind of like pioneering a movement also in my state, in my city, about doing like urban performances and doing all this crazy shit on the streets that nobody would understand. I used to do like urban performances where one of my performances called dress me of poetry. Where I have an all black attire. I come in streets and I'm walking like really slow, and I take my clothes off, and then I hand people some markers, and in my chest is written "Dress me of poetry," and then the markers is for people to take it and put poetry in my body, or like whatever they want, and then it became like a hit. Like I would go to everywhere, I would do this performance, and people would go crazy about it. And at the end of like I do a dance, like just like in gratitude. I did in Central Park when I came here first time, and
you did it in Central Park.
Yes, I did here in New York City in Central Park.
Okay. And when was this?
2017.
In 2017. Wow.
Yes.
Before the pandemic.
Yes, it was before the pandemic. And I remember, like, every time I do the performance, this performance specifically, is so interesting because there are so many things written in my body that I have no idea. Sometimes people write their names or the number. People write poetry. People draw something.
Yeah.
And when I did in Central Park, was impactful because when I left and I was like collecting all the information, there are like so many languages. There was like French, Brazilian, Arabic, like so many. I was like, that's amazing.
That isn't, and it was all written
in
body.
me, my body. Like
that
all these people like from everywhere, like they understood the assignment and they all wrote something in their own languages in my body.
There's just so much to that. There's so many things I have to ask about that moment because, you know, I also want to know if there is a spiritual meaning behind that for you. I would think something like that would be pretty significant for someone's soul. Like, I don't know how I would feel if somebody wrote something on me and what type of impact that would do for me. Like, how what does this generate from you within your creativity? Like, what does this do for you?
Okay.
When you do this?
So the concept or like the inspiration behind it was to break from the theater.
Got it.
The thing about being like the theater, every time you do the same thing. And then I want to do a performance where the audience would make the performance with me.
Engaging.
Yes, I'm not gonna go there and give you.
Yeah.
I want you to give me, and this kind of exchange. That's what make the performance. So that's the whole idea. It was like to the audience not to be passive and like just a watcher, but the audience to be active.
Who has been your inspiration growing up? Like, I'll give you a little example of mine from Brazil. And this is like way back. And you may not even know it. Shusha.
Oh my God, everyone knows Shusha. Stop it. Shusha is the queen.
Shusha.
Shusha is the first drag queen Brazil has ever had. Okay? She's the very first drag queen Brazil. It's very controversial to say that, but she's a drag queen.
I love my Shusha. So, I mean, and I had the honor in meeting her ex-husband.
Really?
Yeah. Many years later. I
know she dated Pelé, right?
Pelé, yeah. I met Pelé many years later.
You met Pelé?
I met Pelé.
Right.
I have a picture with Pelé.
That's gagging.
I mean, you don't understand. So here I am in an industry and where nobody really, I mean, in production, like here in this country, and nobody really knows like the energy and the impact that Pelé has. I'm the only person that's like crying and emotional while he's in the room, and I got my picture with him. Everyone else in the room didn't, and they regretted it till this day.
Pelé is a king. Pelé is like owns Brazil.
Can you believe?
No kidding. Like he's like God in Brazil.
I got that
actually.
moment.
I
got that moment.
It's such a like, and when they're dating, like Pelé and Shusha, it was like the power couple.
So beautiful.
They're like
so gorgeous. I mean, oh my God. I love it.
So yeah, Shusha is everything. So
that was my TV inspiration show when I was growing up.
Okay, growing up as a child, I would say I like Power Rangers.
Okay.
and I like villains. I'm always drawn to the villains. I'm a villain myself in real life, not real life,
but
like
structure,
in my
there's structure.
yeah, it's like in my artistic expression. I try to be as much as a villain as I can.
Yeah,
because that's something that's mysterious about it. That's something that's edgy.
Yeah.
That's something that you want to know more instead of like being just cute and good and nice. It's like. Ain't nobody cute, good, and nice. Like, no.
Right, like, cut that out.
Yeah. And then, like, as a child.
That's not natural.
Well, some people are naturally nice, which is good, but it's like, it's, right? Well, I feel like being naturally nice is good until it's not, until it's annoying. You gotta have some edginess to you.
Yes.
And I'm a Latino, like also I'm Afro-Latino, so it has some spice in it.
Yeah.
Like my mom when she talks to me, or like my family when she talks to me, she's not always nice to me. She's always like, she was like very spiteful, or was very like, sometimes very rude the way they talk. But it doesn't come from being rude. It does come from how we talk. How we communicate with each other. So yeah, that's like some spiciness into it. So growing up, it was like Power Rangers that I can remember that I love.
Celebrity singers that were inspiring to you, dancers, like I'm so removed from the pop culture.
I would say like Elchan, which is like
who's this?
Elchan.
Elchan.
It's like a group, like it's a band actually, and they have like these dancers that was like really beautiful, really hot, and it was like a hit in Brazil. Everyone would dance their songs, they would do the choreographies and everything. So it was like really popping. Like me growing up, I knew all the dances, like all the moves. I feel like that's where my dance abilities came from, actually. But like a lot of like cartoons and like villains and everything, I love that. But also when growing up, also like as a teenager, after like left in childhood or like growing up like adulthood, I started to
How old?
I would say, I don't know, 14, 15, 16. Yeah. I started to get into old music, like music from a generation behind me, from the 70s. Like I was really drawn at a point in my life where I was like listening to a lot of things from the 90s. Oh, it's I was drawn at some point to things that come from the 70s. Like the 70s for me was everything. So they have this group in Brazil during the 70s and 80s called Dizzy Croquettes, which is like a group of flamboyant, like acting theater, but they call that actors, but they're like they're femme queens, they're like drag queens, and they usually do
ahead of their time.
Yes, like they usually should do the shows in Brazil, like cabaret show, but it was like full of like languages. They would speak French and Portuguese and Spanish, and they would do like comedy, but it was like comedy that nobody could understand because he talks about politics, he talks about like being queer, he talks about like all of that, and they're like very masculine. They have hair in their body, but they have makeup. They have glitter.
So they were ahead of their time.
They have heels. So it's like very like when I saw the first time, I was like, I love that. So it was a really big reference to me, like this kind of like non-binarism, because they're like at the same time they're really masculine, they're also really feminine, and that's something I really loved it, and it was like an inspiration for me since then on. Yeah, but I really like music from the 70s. And there's a lot of things from the 70s. Hair used to be my favorite musical. Like, I love Hair. And I love Hair because it's pretty much me relating to military school, how they break the rules of society and they do whatever they want in a very irresponsible way, actually. Yeah. But it was like something that drew me to Hair. It was like, I love Hair. And I love the whole idea of the 70s of like, because it was like after war, right? So there was like this whole idea of peace and freedom where people are like connecting to each other as a community and they're like trying to break rules of society, which always goes back for me trying to break free from whatever I have like before.